Morning, 8th grade. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another day of distance learning, artistic style. As you can see, I have yesterday's silhouette under the camera here. I purposely left it partially completely done because just wanted to remind you as I'm working that the choice is yours after you superimpose your silhouette, transfer it, trace it, free draw it, whatever you're comfortable in doing. You have a decision to make, and your decision is, will I leave the silhouette with simply a border, a dark outline around the silhouette, and leave the inside white? Or will I take the extra step and color it in? In this case, I'm using a black Sharpie, but you could color it in with a crayon, an ink pen, your pencil, what have you. Now it's a little more work to color and shade it in, but it's worth the effort. It looks very nice. That's not to say it doesn't look nice if you don't color it in. It's just a different style and a different look. So you decide on your own what works best for you. You will notice that I have saved quite a bit of room around the image itself because that's the space that's going to be filled up with numerous Zentangular patterns. If you recall, when we had first talked about Zentangle in school, we had discussed its origins, and it was created to help sick people through their suffering in the hospital. It allowed them to keep their minds occupied and busy in order to keep their thoughts heading into a positive direction while their hands were staying busy being creative. Okay, so that looks pretty nice. Let's do a side-by-side shot here of the original and the reproduction. Not bad, not perfect, but it definitely is eye-catching and is very, very workable. So here's your job for today, 8th grade. I'm trusting you have superimposed and transferred your design onto a plain sheet of paper. And that begins phase 2 of the project. And I'm going to pull in my metallic ruler here. I'll explain that in just a moment. And I'm going to stick with the Sharpie because I think one of the themes of Zentangle is there are no perceived mistakes. You may feel like it's a mistake, but as Bob Ross would say, there's no mistakes here. Go with it, adapt it, change it, make it work to your creative advantage. So I don't want you to get all hung up on making a mistake with your designs. The Zentangle artists would oftentimes encourage the makers, the creators of Zentangle, to start and stick with marker the whole way through. And that way, you can't really fix the mistake. It's whatever you put down on the paper, that's the mark that you're going to go with, and you can, like I said, try to adapt or change it to the best of your ability, but don't get all caught up in all the little worrisome details, okay? Just concentrate on your creative design and concentrate on keeping your brain headed in a good, positive direction, like we had mentioned earlier, okay? So we're going to go with True Zentangle here, and one of your jobs today, when you're not drawing, is to go onto the internet, please, do a general Zentangle search, and look up some design ideas that you feel will work really well behind your particular piece. That's an example of how one line can really give you a feeling of creativity and space, and it's just a neat little effect, I think. That was one line, and it's really added a lot of interest to my piece, okay? So I don't have any Zentangular designs from which I'll be working today as far as them being on a sheet of paper or on my phone or anything like that. But what I am going to do here is I'm going to go with one of my classic go-to designs that many of you have probably seen me sketch out. And this was one of the first Zentangle designs that I was ever taught. I did a little workshop with an artist who had taught me about this artistic idea. And they had these example cards from which to work, and this one just kind of caught my eye as being a wonderful kind of optical illusion looking setup. And when I would teach some of you kiddos to do the process of the design, I would make up these silly little names, and this one kind of became known as the half pepperoni slice of pizza, because it reminds me of a slice of pizza with these half pepperoni shapes all around the border. I'll show you what I'm going to do with these in another moment here. And then your task for the day is to look up some Zentangle designs on the internet that you can make happen on your page behind your silhouette. Let me pull that down so you can see. Okay, very good. Now, I'm not going to film the entire process here. Let me shift on over to a thinner Sharpie marker here. But the idea is around those half circles, I draw rainbow shapes, and the premise in Zentangle is two lines shall never cross. When one line meets the other line, they simply bump into each other. It's as though one line yields to the other. Oftentimes, it'll appear as though one line goes beneath the other, or they simply stop. So when I take it to the next level of this particular design, which it appears I'm ready for in this corner, watch what happens. One line simply bumps into another line and stops. So here goes this rainbow shape. It's going to bump into the other. And as I move around with more rainbow shapes, you'll see that it begins to create a bit of an optical design, an optical illusion of sorts. So I'm going to stop here in this corner, and when I begin taping again tomorrow, you'll get to see some progress that I have made on my piece, and I hope you will have made some progress on your artistic pieces. And one last reminder about your assignment for today: do a general internet search on Zentangle, find some patterns that you like and enjoy and should be able to replicate, put on your paper behind your superimposed silhouette. Okay, and I'll do the same. I'll look up some of my favorite designs, and I won't just go from the top of my head like I did today. Okay, take care, 8th grade. Happy drawing, and can't wait to see your pictures towards the end of the week. Bye-bye.